Welcome to Mike's Harder After Hours. I am Don.
I'm Joe. And we don't have a specific topic. It's just us trying this again.
All right, so we've already tried this once, and it was an epic fail. And I'm not even drunk tonight, so I don't know what the hell's going on.
Well, and I don't know how to use the thingy, and I do have a buzz, so I would probably make it worse.
Well, it's this fucking Apple product, I think, because I hate Apple.
Yeah. Yeah, this shit. I've had one Apple product I liked, and it was the iPod, but the iPad and the phones and shit, fuck that. They suck.
Yeah. Give me a computer. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Windows, I know how to run that.
And how to install them.
Yeah. So, anywho, how was your week, Joe?
All the shit we already recorded, I feel like we already talked about.
Yeah, but that one ain't getting posted, so. I'll talk about my shitty week all over again. I don't care.
My week's been a mental challenge. I've been pulled off what I am used to doing, and I've gotten a whole bunch of shit I either haven't seen in a long time or have never seen. So it's been the one that's coming. I've never seen one in person. So, like, tell me you got a fucking GM monojet downdraft single barrel. I'm like, okay, that sounds cool. I think I read about one in fucking Hot Rod magazine in the early 80s or some shit, you know? I have no idea what's coming to me other than the guy was nice enough to send some pictures, but
Right.
I'm like, fuck.
Like I was saying the last time we tried recording that, I know the 4-barrel carbs. You can give me one of them, I'm okay. But then you start talking about this downdraft, and I think carbs are pretty similar.
Well, the 4-barrel that you're used to, it's a downdraft. The air goes down through the throat of it, so it's downdraft.
Okay.
Most of the stuff I work on is an updraft.
Oh, okay.
They're the tractor carburetors. They're updraft, and they're simple. I haven't worked on this many car carburetors in 15 years. I've just suddenly got an influx of them.
Right.
It's weird.
Is that because people are using them for their tractors, or it's just historic cars they're working on?
Some of them do belong on tractors.
Okay.
In the late 40s, early 50s, there was a surplus of Chrysler engines, and International and a couple other ones bought up all these Chrysler engines from the military and put them in tractors.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah. So there's some out there that are still running around, but the other side of what I'm running into is our customers are like, well, this guy rebuilds carburetors, so maybe he can do this one.
Gotcha.
Like I rebuilt that model 1904 Holly today. I've done a bunch of those. It is what it is, but those were like they were agricultural to a point because they put them on grain trucks. Those big, long, straight trucks with like a 300 inline 6.
Right.
They put a single barrel Holly on top of those. So I've done a handful of those. Most of them for friends of friends, not for customers.
Right.
But this one was actually for a customer. He sent it in. And he's like, hey, these are real hot right now. I need this rebuilt. They're not really hot right now. He just thinks he's got a gold mine. sad part is somebody welded some shit linkage to it, so he's gonna have a hard time selling it. But yeah, between this Chrysler downdraft and then that Holly, and then this Nicky carburetor that belongs in some obscure British-made international. My brain's been tested today.
Right.
I don't know why I chose to do all three of them today, but here we are. I'm like, damn it. Yeah.
So my brain wasn't tested today. Mine was just irritation more than anything.
You spent all day on a roof or in and under a roof.
I was on a roof all day today. Yesterday was in the attics and on rooftops trying to find roof leaks, and we had all this fucking rain. And yesterday we had a renter that called my boss at 4 o'clock in the morning saying their ceiling fell in, which it did, but it was only probably a 3 foot by 3 foot section, maybe.
Yeah.
But there was never any sign of a leak there, so it's been leaking for a long ass time.
Shit.
So the day I had to go tear into that, and I was irritated because this renter, she's one of the people, she has to be right by you the whole time you're working, and she's asking you 100 million questions, and I'm like, yesterday she walked out of the room, and I looked at Junior, and I just take my hands like, I want to choke this bitch. Like, she's annoying the fuck out of me. And it's always questions like, well, are you going to get this drywall back in today, or are you going to do this? That I can't do shit until I get the roof done.
Right.
So on the day, we get over there, and I pull all the shingles off in the area, which was 5 bundles of shingles we took off.
Shit.
So that's...
They showed me the picture yesterday. It had multiple valleys.
Yeah. One bundle will do about a 4x8 sheet of plywood.
Right.
And so I tear all the shingles off. I tear all the plywood off. And the whole time I'm tearing this plywood off, I could look down in the hole and see her right underneath us as shit's just falling down. So finally, when I went and got the plywood I needed, or no, I got the plywood first. I went and got the plywood first, and then I came back and started tearing into it. And I go to start putting everything back together, and I went in there. I said, look, I'm going to tell you this once and only once. This room is now off limits until I am done with the roof. She said, well, I'm just in here trying to get it cleaned up. I don't care. If I drop a hammer and it hits you, that's on me. If I fall through the roof and hit you, now it's on me again, and I got to worry about you being hurt.
or it's the universe just telling you to shut the fuck up.
I'm like, what person would stand underneath someone tearing shit out and letting things fall on top of their head?
Yeah. It takes all types, I guess.
I guess, but... So yeah, long story short, we got it all done. One boss did call me at one point and asking how long it's going to take me, and I said, it's going to take me all day at 4 o'clock. I said, I ain't getting out of here until at least 4. He said, well, you need anything? Yeah. Pay raise, $1 million. I'm sure I can think of some more.
Handy.
Well, is there anything else you need? A new job? All right, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. Like we tried to say in that first recording, we both need younger people to come in underneath us and learn how to do our jobs.
Yeah.
Because the job I'm doing, that's what guys in their 70s, 80s, and 90s were doing. That was their thing. And now, here I am in my mid-40s. I'm running it. There's nobody behind me figuring it out. And this stuff's still going to be running when I can't do it anymore.
Right.
So, need somebody to come figure it out. Shit, we build stuff for some of the dealerships around here. Because some guys still take their old 50, 60, 70 shit to the dealership.
Right.
The guys that are at the dealership, they're techs. I can't plug my computer into it, so I don't know what to do.
Yeah, they're probably all young and...
Yep. Well, they're all out of tech school.
Yeah.
You know, and they're used to these newer tractors.
That's what I'm saying. They're all young. They're probably in their 20s and early 30s, and
Yeah.
they're only knowing what they were taught in school.
Which is all plug the computer into it and see what the sensors say.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's probably some old guy at the service counter going, that sounds like carburetor's probably fucked up. So take it off and send it over there. And these guys have absolutely no fucking idea not only how to rebuild it, but how to adjust it when they get it back.
Right.
You know, I adjust it so the thing will start and run. But you have to adjust it from there to get the idle the way you want and to get the load the way you want.
Right.
These guys have no fucking idea, man. You know, 21 to 35 years old, they're like, well, I don't get it. You know? And it's no fault of their own. It's just not in the training. They're not taught.
Right. Yeah, I get it.
So,
Like,
yeah.
in my case, I mean, there's young kids going to the trade schools. Like, why are we not trying to go to the schools and pick these kids up, you know?
Yeah, no shit.
Well, I don't want to say pick them up because that kind of sounds like a pedophile, but...
I'd let you get away with that one. Yeah, why isn't your boss, you know, hitting the vocational school up? Like, hey, I'll take somebody for the summer that's, you know, in carpentry.
Right.
Why isn't that happening?
They told me they tried it once, but they never got anything from it. Well, you're trying to find the seniors that are getting right out of school wanting a job.
Yeah, you need the junior that's between his junior and his senior year. That way, going into his senior year, he can get out at 11:30 in the morning and go to work.
Right.
That's the kid you need. Because at noon, he's at work. You're all back there for lunch. You scoop him up and take him to a job site. That's the kid you need.
Absolutely.
And then you've worked him for a year, and by the time he graduates, he's already established in a job, and he's already used to the way you do stuff, and you just keep him.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with you 100% on this.
Even if it takes a van with no windows and a little bit of duct tape, you just keep them. And you have vans with no windows, so you just duct tape, you keep them.
I don't know. I've tried talking to him, but it doesn't get me anywhere. And I'm also like, you know, throw fucking advertisements out there. Hire people. I don't care if they're fucking in their 30s and 40s. Yeah, I'd rather have the younger guys because my body can't handle it no more, but I guarantee there's somebody out there that wants to work.
Right. Then again, I mean, fuck. It's so easy to get paid to just sit at home.
Oh, yeah.
Ew. I know you hate politics, but here we go.
Have at it.
So, Trump's looking to get rid of the Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Okay.
So, Section 8 housing on the federal level might go bye-bye.
Darn.
Yeah. He's like, I think the states ought to control that. You know, they all have their own unique positions and issues. We'll let them decide who can have subsidized housing, and we'll let them pay for it. At which I also believe, I have not read, but I believe would mean that the states would be required to give less money to the federal government for housing. Because why would they keep taking the money if we're responsible, right?
Right.
And then he wants to put a 2-year cap. If you're receiving any federal funding of any kind for your personal life, if you're an able-bodied person, it's 2 years maximum. And then you're cut off and you have to go like fend for yourself and shit.
I can get behind that.
Go find a fucking job.
I can get behind that.
Oh, me too. Me too. And snitches get stitches, but this snitch is making phone calls. If I know you're able-bodied,
Oh, yeah.
and you're at 2 years and 2 months, I'm making phone calls.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, because we need fucking workers.
Well, not just that, but they're taking our tax money.
Well, yeah, that too.
You know, like the whole thing Doge is doing. They're pretty much they're whistleblowers. They're going in and finding out that 100,000 federal employees filed for unemployment while they were still on the clock.
Right.
100,000 employees of the federal government were collecting unemployment checks and a paycheck. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that ain't right.
And then the Institute of Peace. The fucking Institute of Peace had a $130,000 contract with the Taliban.
What?
Yeah. Yep. And it was an unspecified contract. It really didn't say what they were supposed to do. But they got $130,000 a year from the Institute of Peace. The Institute of Peace also had a huge armory. This giant vault of fucking loaded guns. And any money they had left over at the end of the year, they scrubbed. They washed it and stuck it into another fund.
Institute of Peace, but they have a bunch of guns?
A shit ton.
How does that make sense?
I don't know. We'll get to the more fun here in a second. So, at the end of the year, whatever money they had left over out of their budget, they scrubbed. They washed it and put it into another fund. And the next year, they would use it for parties and private jet flights, and they just use it as like an indiscretionary fund where they would party with it pretty much. And you want to talk about a federal department that really makes you question, why the hell do they have guns? The United States Post Office.
Right.
This is years ago. I don't know what it is now, but years ago, when Dave and I were paying attention to shit, when ammo prices were really, really high under Obama, the United States Post Office bought like 60,000 rounds of 9mm ammo. I get it that they have their own police force.
Right.
But that was just one caliber. 60,000 rounds of 9mm ammo.
That's a lot of 9mm.
Yeah. That's not including, all the rifle ammo that they purchased. They're stockpiling fucking ammunition.
Right.
Either they're stockpiling ammunition or the post office is making the purchase order and the black ops is getting the actual money.
Yeah.
Which is possible.
Yeah, I can see that being possible too.
We got another Iran-Contra thing going on. They're funneling money off into other shit. Like the golden toilet seats that Congress says they're spending money on, which really, they're putting a standard white seat on, and the money for the gold seats actually going somewhere else. But, But yeah, the idea that, and when Doge started investigating the Institute of Peace, they're the government agency that deleted an entire terabyte of accounting information. Doge was able to recoup it, but yeah, when Doge showed up to audit them, one of their guys was like, boop, delete an entire terabyte.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, I got nothing to hide except all that.
Yeah. All right, we gotta take a pause for a minute.
All
right, we're back.
Yeah. How was your poo?
That's what happens when you talk politics. I had to shit. So much I hate it.
It does make us all full of shit. Speaking of full of shit, today the 5 officers that beat the crap out of some black guy. I should know his name, but I don't. I don't remember.
Oh, the Tennessee case?
They were all acquitted?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, if it had been 5 white guys, or even 2 white guys, an African American, and 2 Asians, there would be 2 white guys and 2 Asians going to jail right now.
Oh, I'm sure.
But because they were all black, they're like, well, that was a misunderstanding. It's not that big a deal.
Right.
Derek Chauvin should never have been charged, let alone sent to fucking prison, and then charged federally with a hate crime.
Right.
And anybody that doesn't like that can kiss my fucking ass. The guy was a fucking drug addict, swallowed a bunch of fucking drugs, was having a hard time breathing way before he fucking got in a fight with Chauvin. So this just shows the disparity. Like, well, we can't convict these guys because that would look bad.
Right.
But that white guy, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We got to put, and you know what? Let's put a monument to that drug addict wife or woman beater. Let's put a monument to him.
Yeah.
Did you see the 12-foot monument that went up in Times Square?
Mm-mm.
It's a 12-foot tall woman.
Okay.
Looks like a bronze statue. I'm sure it's probably not bronze, but it's the color of bronze. And I don't know what it's celebrating. I don't know if it's celebrating we can't fat shame it, or we can't pick its ethnicity. I don't know what it's celebrating, but it's 12 fucking feet tall.
So it's just a 12-foot random woman statue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure what's going on there, but they made it into it's a statue that you can't make fun of and you can't judge. Otherwise, you're a long list of things, like you're a fat shamer, you're a racist, you're a bigot, you're a misogynist. They made it into the statue where, like, you can't even say I don't like it. Otherwise, you're that laundry list of things.
Okay, well, I don't like it.
I don't like it either. I think it's fucking ridiculous. Fucking absolutely asinine. And all it's there for, in my personal opinion, is so that they can call us all those names.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
You're tearing down statues of Thomas Jefferson,
Of
George
history.
Washington. Yeah. You're tearing down all these statues. And we're not even talking just Confederates. We're talking founding fathers.
Right.
Tearing down all these statues and then erecting this statue of something in real life probably couldn't stand on its own 2 legs, probably doesn't have a job.
Probably.
And we can't call it for what it is. Otherwise, we're a long list of bad names.
I'm sorry. I go by the First Amendment. I can say what I want.
Oh, speaking of Shiloh Hendricks.
I know that name for some reason.
Probably because you heard me talking about it.
Probably. Or I seen it on X, but...
White lady, Minnesota.
Okay, yeah.
At a park with her kid.
Yeah. Yep.
She said the bad word.
Mm-hmm.
She's being attacked more because She said it to a supposed autistic 5-year-old kid. But, man, like she said, I told him to stop. He didn't. And the guy videotaping. So you called him blank? And she said, well, if he's going to act like it.
Calls it like I sees it.
Yeah. I'm not condemning or condoning using that word.
Right.
But, man, I have used that word.
I don't like using it.
I've used it against white people.
Oh, yeah.
I've used it against Hispanic people. I mean, you are what you act like.
Right. I agree with that 100%. I mean, there is a difference.
Absolutely. Fuck. There's people of the Caucasian persuasion that I consider to be the same fucking thing.
Right.
But yeah, she got toasted, roasted, doxed. But she got more money through her Give, Send, Go than that black kid that stabbed a white kid at a track meet.
Yeah.
Because I think white Americans are like, we've had enough. You know?
I don't even know if it's just white Americans. I think just Americans in general.
Yeah. Well, okay. You're right. Not white Americans. True Americans.
Right.
Because I'm going to hurt a bunch of feelings here. Somebody who calls themselves an African American or a black American is putting something in front of being an American.
Right.
Somebody who is of African descent who calls himself an American, that person is probably looking at this situation going, she probably shouldn't have said it, but
I agree.
I've met more than one person of African descent who calls himself an American. They don't hyphenate.
Right.
They're not a hyphenated American. They're like, yep, I'm an American first. My ancestry is just, that's how I became to be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the hyphenated Americans, they are really butthurt mad right now. And I don't know, personally, I just think it's funny that she got more in her Give, Send, Go than the African American kid who stabbed a white kid at a track meet in Texas. He got let's call it $550,000. And suddenly his parents live in a giant mansion and drive a $100,000 SUV. But that was for his defense fund. But she got, last time I looked, like $640,000.
Wow.
Just to move. Like, I got to get my family out of here because she got doxxed. And
Yeah.
like she got death threats and all kinds of shit. Yeah, Shiloh Hendricks. Flash in the pan, man. By this time next week, nobody will even know her name.
Right.
Crazy. You got more? You want me to keep talking politics?
I don't really have much.
You're going to need to distract me.
I mean, there's things I'd like to talk about, but Junior's not here, and I don't want to talk about it without him being here.
Well, yeah, true. True story. Has he been to work this week?
Yeah.
Good.
He's been there every day. I mean, I think he left early one day, maybe. I don't remember for sure. My days are blending in together.
Yeah, no shit. I was really hoping Dude Wisconsin would be here today.
Yeah, I wish he would have been here too. That would have been a nice talk.
Yeah.
I hope he's at least still listening to the podcast and maybe getting an idea of like, okay, yeah, I can come onto this. And
I don't even know if he started listening. Do you know?
I don't know if he did or not. But.
Yeah, he'd be a good one to like fortify that. Look, dude. Yeah, we sit here and talk dumb shit and we get drunk and stuff like that. But we're like. Literally, this is like a release. It's for your mental health. We do this for our mental health,
right?
Without this release, some guys just wouldn't have a way.
Right. Well, there's some guys out there that they don't have people they can talk to.
Well, like me, I'm not going to a counselor. Fuck that.
Well, I wouldn't either.
But to sit around and talk to a bunch of guys, even if I'm talking into a microphone and whoever wants to can listen
yeah, that's
to
what I'm saying. Is like some guys don't have that because they don't want to go to their friends because they don't want to be judged. Mm-hmm. And us, we're the ones like, we don't give a fuck what's going on in your life. We'll be there to support you, and hopefully we can help you and talk you through things.
Yeah. Yep. And the idea that we're, talking into microphones, there's probably somebody else sitting out there going, I know I need to talk to somebody, but I don't want to go seek a counselor.
Right.
Maybe they can listen to us and be like, all right, I just need to go sit with a couple of my buddies and fucking let the conversation turn that way.
Even if it's someone we don't know. I would sit down and listen to someone talk.
Oh, me too. Absolutely.
If I can help them out and talk through things.
I don't even necessarily feel the need to help somebody out. Just like,
well, I mean,
let somebody fucking vent and shit.
And helping someone out is what I'm saying is letting them vent, and maybe we've been through a similar situation that we could put a 2 cents and help someone out.
Right. There's very few situations where I would judge somebody, abuse of a woman and abuse of a child.
Yeah, I can't help that one.
Those would be the only two where I'd be like, yeah, dude, you're fucked up.
Yeah.
But anything else, like, talk it out, man. Fucking spill it.
Yeah.
Whatever you got.
Someone lost their job and they don't know who to go talk to. They got things going through their head, how they're going to pay their bills. Hey.
Yeah.
I know a guy that's sitting across from me right now who's pretty good with finances. He might be able to help you a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. When somebody's receptive.
Yeah, well,
That's the hard part.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you know me. I'm a spender.
Yeah.
I'm not great with my finances. I do listen a little bit to what you tell me. I have to do it on my own, but...
And I don't talk to you about it much. And the Red Basket Bobber is always like, why don't you get on him about the way he spends? Because I don't have to pay his bills. It's not my business.
Right.
He knows the same information I know.
Mm-hmm.
And if he has questions, I'll answer them. But it's not my business. That's his money to spend. He earned it. He can do whatever the hell he wants with it.
Right.
He's like, oh, it would frustrate me to no end. It ain't my business.
My life doesn't concern your life.
No. You ain't paying my bills and I ain't paying yours. So I don't give a shit what you do with yours. Yeah, he like had a serious like mental moment like, why don't you get on him? Because he doesn't want my advice. He knows what I know, and if he wanted my advice, he'd ask for it.
I always want your advice. I always take in your advice. But I'm also the one that I'm a free spirit. I live on my own.
Yeah.
Now when we get married, all right, now I got to make a whole new change in my lifestyle. Yeah, I'm not going to spend money the way I did.
Yeah.
One, because she won't put up with it. And two, because I don't want to be in this boat. I hate it, but I like it. Cause,
right.
Like, I already know I can live on $20 for a week. It doesn't bother me none.
Yeah. Yeah, makes it harder to save for shit later, but
Right.
yeah, that was Red Basket Bobber's biggest thing. Like, why don't you get on him, dude? That's not my spot.
Even Junior, I got talking about it today. It's not so much money wise, but food. And he's like, he was saying something about living up to ketos and something else. I'm like, well, you're probably living better than I am because I'm one. I'll just eat bread and butter.
Yeah.
I don't need much to eat. I'd be happy with bread and butter, peanut butter and bread. He's like, man, next time, I'll have Maddie get you some food. I'm like, no. I know I don't ask for handouts, for one. For two, I don't want it. And three, I'm happy with what I have. I don't cook in my house because I don't want to do dishes.
Yeah.
If I can, bread and butter, it fills me up. I'm happy. That makes a turd.
Takes away the pain, makes a turd. Yeah, he doesn't understand. I'm not. You ain't asking, so I ain't telling. You know what I mean? Now, somebody who asks, and then somebody who asks me to keep him accountable, like Red Basket Bobber.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to ask. You've made it my business. So now I'm going to ask, and I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to be like, what did you do with XYZ? Mm-hmm. He's asked me to help him, and he's asked me to keep him accountable. So yeah, I'm gonna pry.
Yeah, I know damn well if I asked you to keep me accountable, Don Spenning's getting cut way the fuck
down. Hey, while you're back there, we grab my other beverage out of the fridge. Being as it's just the two of us, we don't have a.
We gotta find some more people, so we have a bar bitch again.
Yeah, this is getting ridiculous. Well,
or we just need our producer to show up.
If dude Wisconsin would have showed up today, I wouldn't have asked him to get me my drink out of the fridge because he probably would have drank it before he handed it to me.
Probably.
He's in one of those moods,
Yeah.
Anything coming up for the next week that you can think of?
My boy.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be home, isn't he?
See Me Demon comes back Tuesday.
Woohoo! Yeah.
And unfortunately, I only get him. He comes back.
Didn't you say the 17th?
He comes back the 12th.
The 12th.
No, he flies in the 13th.
Oh, Tuesday?
So he flies in the 13th. I'll have him Wednesday. And then Thursday, I got to take him back to his mom's.
Oh.
That's when they're going to Myrtle Beach.
Gotcha. Well, maybe we can get him on the podcast because he'll be home on a Wednesday.
Oh, I'm sure he'll come on, yeah.
Yeah. Unless he wants to go do something. I mean.
I'm sure he'll be like, oh, I'll go to Joe's. He likes his Uncle Joe.
Which is crazy, considering that when he was a little kid, I screamed at him so bad. I think about that every so often.
Yeah, but he also remembers some of the other stuff too, Tilling up the backyard for a garden.
Yeah.
Going out to the pond to shoot guns.
Yeah, that shit was fun. All of it. I mean, the yard work, the shooting guns, the fishing and shit like that. That shit was all fun. It's hard to believe he's a fucking adult.
Yeah, right?
Man.
Yeah.
Hard to believe all your kids are that big. Like, what the fuck, dude?
We've known each other for a long time.
No shit. Oh, man. I can't. I don't know.
Yeah, he'll be 20 this year.
God damn. That's insane.
And Liz will be 17.
It's like my sister's kids, dude. They were farts in a frying pan, and now they're, her daughters, they're fucking grown up. Like, what the fuck happened? I feel like Rip Van Winkle. I took a nap and woke up, and
Right.
like everybody's old and shit.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine, I took my daughter out for her 21st birthday. Like, holy shit. Like, fuck, I'm getting old.
Taking my brother Jerry out for his 21st wasn't that big a deal because he's my little brother.
Right.
We grew up at the same time. But to be an adult and then another adult has a kid, you're like, it's
Yeah. Your nieces are now becoming adults.
Yeah,
like,
it's always going to be a kid. It's always going to be a child. And suddenly it's not a child anymore. And you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
What the hell happened?
That's like my niece, Katie. I helped raise her.
Yeah.
I mean, she's always been kind of a kid to me. I still call her a kid now. I'm like, hey, what's up, kid?
Yeah, she's definitely a kid. Yeah. And where she works, it's kind of embarrassing sometimes.
I'm sorry.
I got to go to the urologist's office. Hey, Joe, come on in. God damn it. Fucking kid. Got to go get a colonoscopy. Hey, Joe, come on in. God damn it. It's like, this person knows more about me than she should ever know. She may not know what I'm there for. I don't know. But
Oh, I'm sure she knows what you're there for.
I'm sure she does. Sure. She
Nice thing
does.
is she wouldn't know any of the results.
Another fucked up one is Dave's ex works for the urologist.
Yeah.
So I called up there to make an appointment, and before they asked for your name, they asked for your date of birth.
Mm-hmm.
So I rattle off my date of birth, and she's like, "Is this Joe?" Yeah. She's like, "Hi, this is."
So-and-so.
I'm like, "Oh, what's up? What do you need an appointment for?" Awkward.
Yeah.
I think it's only going to get worse the older I get, though. Because, I'm sure that that's not a field that's solely dominated by people younger than us. It's got to be a field where people our age are also going to float into as they move out of other positions. They're going to move into those jobs.
Yeah. Some doesn't want to work ER no more. They're going to be like, I want to be a little something slower paced.
Yeah. So I'll be calling the urologist at one point, and Junior's mom's going to answer the phone.
I don't even know what department she works in, but
I don't either. I'm just winging it. But you know what I mean?
that's why I don't go to the hospital, because I'm like, I don't want to see people I know.
What's funny is the only reason I know people from the hospital is because I met them there, and then I see them out and about.
Yeah. I see that too.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a ER nurse at the supermarket like 2 weeks ago. She's like, "Hey, how you feeling?" And I realized who it was, and I was like, "Hey, better, I guess."
That was one of the bad things, like being on the fire department and shit. I'm in there all the time, so I knew everybody.
Yeah.
And the times that I've had to go there, it's like, oh, this person knows me. Especially the one time when I got hauled out in the squad. I was a department member, but I thought I had a heart attack.
Yeah.
And I get to the ER, and I have everyone there. They're like, "What the hell, Don? What's going on?" I'm like, "Oh fuck, I don't want to be here no more. Can I go home?"
At this point, they all fucking pretty much know me by name, because I keep going in there with heart problems, or not heart problems, but chest pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. They pretty much all know me by now. I missed the one doctor, the Arab guy. I do not remember his name. He was a cool motherfucker, man. Real cool cat.
Said I've been out of that place so long. I don't.
All the second shift Wasion PD loved him. They loved this guy.
I have an idea who you're talking about, but I can't think of who it is. It's been so long. So.
Yeah, he took care of me a couple of times, and the one time I went in there, I had that big gash on my forehead. So I'm laying there with this gauze on my head, and I see him walk in, but all I can see is from his waist down, and he's wearing these scrubs that look like 511 tactical.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah. And another time I was in there, and he reached over me, and he had a Surefire watch on. I'm like, this guy likes guns. Yeah, I got to talking to him. He was a cool dude. At one point, he was cutting a cyst out of my butt. And I was like, when are you going to open your own practice so I don't have to keep coming in here to see you? He's like, I don't want to hire nurses and worry about all that crap. So I'm just going to work for the ER. I'm like, man, it'd be a whole lot cooler to just come to see you at your office.
Right.
Yeah. He was a cool dude, man. Real nice guy.
Yeah, there was a couple of them that I actually really liked.
Whew. That's a
little stout.
That's a good drink. Whew. If by stout you mean it gave my neck an erection.
Need some more juice in there?
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear you just say you need more juice in there. Maybe it just needed shaking like a baby.
Maybe. Or it needs some more juice in there.
Yeah, I'll make the next one with more juice.
I mean, I could put a Jew in there for you if you want.
I want to put Sour Patch Kids in one of these one time and see what it tastes like.
That'd probably be pretty good.
'Cause I like Sour Patch Kids. If I could just get the coating,
Yeah.
and like as a sprinkle form, that would be good.
I'll get the wife looking into it. She'll find it for you.
Your daughter just whispered to me that you could buy it on Amazon. I know you can now get the Cheeto powder,
Yeah.
so you can get an orange dick and not actually have to eat Cheetos.
I don't want an orange dick.
Well, then don't watch porn and play with the Cheeto dust.
My wife would never talk to me again because she does not like him.
How's that going to work, by the way?
Just fine. I don't talk politics.
I don't. My wife doesn't care for me either, so I'm kind of spitballing here. I don't think my wife likes the Cheeto King. I've never asked, but it's pretty obvious that I like the Cheeto King.
No.
I don't know how.
Mine knows that I favor more towards the Cheeto King than anybody because.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I favor that direction.
I'm up and down with him. Like,
So you're riding him like cowgirl style.
no. Fucking gay retard. No, there's some things I do like about him. I love the fact that he's not a politician. He's a businessman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to figure things out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do I think he's doing great? Absolutely.
I think it is refreshing. He's the first person to be president of the United States that wasn't a politician since George Washington.
Right.
In my studies. If I'm wrong, somebody can fact check me. Mike's Harder Podcast at gmail.com. Hit me up on X at Mike's Harder Podcast. I think that he is the first non-politician, somebody who's never been in administration, never ran for public office.
Right.
I think he's the first one.
As far as I know, he's the first.
Yeah. George Washington and Donald Trump. Now, again, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Because even the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth president, they all held cabinet positions or were part of Congress. They all came from politics.
Right.
And I think it's been that way since. Where this guy, in the 90s, he was on the cover of Time magazine and, he was on Entertainment Tonight. Remember, that was a big show.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He was on Entertainment Tonight all the time. He was just this fancy, rich billionaire. And then now he's president. And the fact that he's a businessman, he runs this country like a business, which is what Doge is doing. They're cutting out the fat. They're auditing different departments.
Right.
And going, nope, that needs to go, that needs to go, that needs to go. I think it's fantastic.
It kind of goes back to George Washington days when it all started. It wasn't about this country becoming rich.
No.
It was, we take care of one another. Period.
Yeah. And during Washington's days, there was no welfare.
Right.
Because there was communities. Communities took care of each other. If there was an elder person in the community took care of that person.
Yeah. You take care of your neighbors.
It wasn't until they started welfare that neighbors were like, well, I don't have to worry about her because the government's going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be a lot more concerned about my neighbors.
That's why you don't see kids mowing lawns as much anymore.
Well, there's that, and the internet, lack of parental control, lack of guidance and education, and an overall no desire to work. When kids see their parents not wanting to work, why is a kid going to put down an Xbox controller and go fucking mow a lawn?
All right. No, I agree.
So, I mean, yeah, there's many contributing factors. But yeah, before the government took care of everybody, the communities took care of everybody.
Yep.
Why am I going to take care of my neighbor if I know the government's going to do it? Hell, I don't even need to know my neighbor's name at this point.
I agree. I agree with you. Well, we're down to the 6 minutes. So.
6 minutes. That gives me 4 minutes and 59 seconds to smoke a cigarette and try to remember what her name is. Well, you suppose our producer will come by and get this ready to upload tomorrow?
I hope so.
I think they're leaving for Louisiana. Him and our other buddy are leaving for Louisiana this weekend. So I don't think they're leaving until Friday.
Probably, yeah. I think it's Friday.
I think you might actually go down there and meet that chick he's been talking to that started her own podcast.
Did she actually start it?
I don't know. I haven't heard yet.
Hmm.
Because I haven't talked to our senior producer.
Well, if she's listening, I hope she'd let us know if she started her podcast yet.
Yeah. Yeah, send us a fucking email. If you started your podcast, shoot us an email. We'll share your link when we share ours, and yeah, we'll try to get some people listening to it. You'll probably get more listeners than us because we're just a bunch of idiots in Podunk, Ohio. But yeah, if you get yours started, send us a link. Oh, and send me some cool recipes because I need something really sweet to do. I'll do crockpot recipes, smoker recipes, barbecue recipes. Send me some good stuff.
Oh, speaking of recipes, the wife said the other day, she's like, I really want pulled pork. She's like, I think I'm going to go get a pork butt and have Joe smoke it.
Okay.
I said, you can get a pork butt anytime you want to.
Yeah.
Either Joe's going to smoke it or I'll smoke it. I said, I can smoke it while I'm working because I can always swing by and check things. But
yeah. I'm going to be smoking poultry, a roast, and some soup bones on Saturday. So if she gets one that's not frozen.
I won't be around Saturday or Sunday.
Well, but I can smoke it.
Well, yeah, I know you can.
I can smoke a pork butt. And then she just throws it in a crock pot and shreds it up when it's done.
Yeah, Sunday I won't be here for dinner.
Not sure what I'm doing. I think I'm going to do beef heart, though.
That's fine. I won't be here. I had my cousin's daughter's birthday party that day.
All right. Well, tell her though that if she wants a pork butt done, I can do it. She'll just have to throw it in a crock pot and warm it up to where she can shred it the rest of the way.
Right.
I mean, I can try to shred it when it's done, but it's better if she just puts it in a crock pot with a little bit of beef broth and shreds it up.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Fucking YouTube on the TV plays to the fat electrician.
Right.
I didn't even get into what he's going through. Whew. Damn it.
I don't know. I'm curious. I see guns.
He's pretty much every beginning of his episodes.
I know.
In some way, shape, or form. That's why we need video. So we need more subscribers.
Right?
Because then we can go live and the senior producer can't stop me.
Like, subscribe, and share.
Yes.
Tell your friends to like, subscribe, and share.
Even if you don't listen to it, I don't care if you listen to it or not. Just spread it around. Like syphilis in the wind. I wish herpes was like pollen. Give everybody digital herpes. Just walk by and throw it at them. And then they're automatically subscribed.
All right, I can see the analogy on that one.
Well, and if real herpes was a pollen, you just throw it on people you don't like. Yeah, that went a little far. I don't know.
I'm like, I got a few people. All right, on that note, I guess we're out of here.
Yep. I'm drunk a lot, so I'm wrong a lot. Fact check me. Mike's Harder Podcast, gmail.com. At Mike's Harder Podcast on X. I'd give you my personal link, but I already got enough spam, so. I'll see y'all later.
See you guys.